Good morning. Welcome to the live online classes. This is a continuation of chapter 6, Weathering and Soil Formation. Last time I have taught you rocks. So, we are doing different types of rocks. Now, rocks make or constitute or form the basis of the soil, okay? Soil is made from the rocks, which I have already told you, okay? Foundation of the soil is from the rocks. And also determine means shape or decide or the nature or the type of landforms. According to their origin means birth, okay? Rocks may be classified as igneous rocks, okay? Z, okay, Neous igneous rocks, sedimentary rocks, Sedimentary sedimentary rocks, and metamorphic rocks. These are the three types of rocks. So, I am first doing igneous rocks. Igneous rocks, if you see the name, in Latin, word igneous, igneous, means fire. So, igneous rocks, okay, are produced by action of fire or intense heat, okay? Igneous rocks were formed or made when the hot molten magma, okay, or hot melted rocks or lava within the earth, from the inside of the earth, erupted from the volcano. It came out from the volcano. And when it came out from the volcano, let's make a drawing here, okay? I'm making a volcano here, okay? Now, when the hot molten magma comes out of the rocks, what will happen? It comes in contact with the atmosphere. Some igneous rocks are formed inside the earth, okay? Some igneous rocks are formed outside the earth. So, the igneous rocks which are formed outside the earth, okay, comes in contact with the atmosphere and cools down, okay, and solidifies, okay. Solidifies means change from liquid to solid state. Over a period of time, it takes millions of time to solidify, okay. It does not, okay, happen in, okay, one day, over the night. So, it solidifies either inside the earth or either on the surface of the earth to form igneous rocks. So, I am talking about the molten magma, which gets magma, which gets, okay, heated up by the, okay, internal heat of the earth as well as the external heat of the earth, that is from the sun. And when it basically turns these rocks into, okay, liquid, it forms into magma. And this magma comes in the form of volcanoes. Some rocks basically solidify here, some rocks solidify here, and this forms into igneous rocks, okay? Igneous rocks are the parent rocks. Now, whenever we are talking about parent, okay, who are the parent? Or father and mother, okay? So, igneous rocks are the parent rocks, means original rocks, okay? Or protolith, okay? They are also called PROTO, protolith. Or liths. They are also called protoliths. You remember that? Parent rocks of the rocks. So, igneous rocks are the parent rocks of the rocks because they were the first rocks. Remember that? They are the first rocks. Igneous rocks are the first rocks. F-I-R-S-T, first rocks to be formed and are known as primary rocks. They are also known as primary rocks. They are also known as primary, primary rocks. They are also known as, okay, parent rocks. They are also known as protoliths, okay, they were the first rocks, okay. They make up 85% of the Earth's surface, okay, or the crust. Igneous rocks are of two types. That time only I told you, okay. Igneous rocks are formed inside the Earth as well as outside the Earth, okay. So, igneous rocks are of two types. Igneous rocks, two types, okay. Number one, if you look at number one, it is known as, okay, Intrusive, intrusive, okay, Igenous, igneous rocks. Now, intrusive means forced, F-O-R-C-E-D, forced or intrude, okay, are those rocks which have cooled within the crust. So, intrusive igneous rocks are those rocks which have cooled, okay, not here, but here, inside the earth, inside the crust. Magma solidifies slowly under great pressure because here, intrusive rocks are formed here. So, I am writing intrusive here. Intrusive. Intrusive rocks are formed here. It is made here. So, it does not come in contact with the atmosphere. So, the solidifying process of this liquid magma that is formed inside the earth is a very slow process because magma takes a longer period of time to solidify beneath the earth or inside the earth as it is warmer here. So it is warmer here inside the earth, whereas outside when it comes in contact with the atmosphere it, okay, solidifies very, very fast. But we are talking about intrusive rocks which is formed within the earth. Therefore, the mineral grain. So, whenever we are talking about minerals, last time only I told you in the previous class that rocks are formed from minerals. Excuse me. Rocks are formed from minerals. And these minerals are basically what? Inorganic substances which lacks property of living organisms. Okay? Therefore, the mineral grains. Now, whenever we are talking about grains are fragments of rocks. Okay? That are formed are larger in size. So, the grains which are formed inside the earth are larger in size. So, intrusive rocks are basically formed inside the earth. Okay? And these grains are larger in size. And are usually crystalline. Crystalline means having property of crystal. Now, crystal is formed when? When it changes from liquid to solid state due to intense heat and pressure. Okay? For example, granite. So, for example, which crystal I am talking about? Granite. Now, granite is used for buildings or construction of buildings. Okay? So, this is intrusive igneous rocks. The second type of igneous rock is known as extrusive. Okay? So, I am just rubbing this name only. E-X-T-R-U-S-I-V-E. Extrusive means outside. Extrusive means outside, external, okay? So, extrusive igneous rocks are those rocks which have cooled on, okay? Which have lost heat, that is cooling, okay? On or outside the surface by rapid cooling. So, these igneous rocks are formed outside the, so if this is the surface or crust, okay, or crust, Now this is formed outside the surface of the earth. Okay, so this is formed outside the surface of the earth. So which element plays a vital role? Atmosphere, which surrounds our earth. Okay, so when it comes as a magma and basically erupts, this basically magma gets solidified, okay, by coming in contact with the atmosphere. So the cooling is rapid here, with the outpouring of lava meeting the air outside. So this outpouring of lava, so I am marking it lava here. This lava basically comes in contact with the atmosphere and it starts cooling at a faster rate. As the lava cools down faster here, the mineral grain that is formed are minute in size. Why it is minute in size here? Minute means small in size. It's not minute, okay? It's minute here. Minute in size means small in size. And why here it is large in size? Because if you look at these two things, here it takes a longer time to solidify. Here it takes a shorter time to solidify. When it takes a shorter time to solidify, then it makes small amount of minerals. Are you getting my point? But it takes a longer time, so the mineral grain is larger here. Okay. As the lava cools down faster here, the mineral grains formed are minute in size, and it is not crystal also. So crystal formation is not formed in this area. So extrusive igneous rocks are smaller in size and there is no crystal formation. Okay, unlike granite, basalt is an igneous rock or extrusive igneous rock. Now BASALT, basalt. Now basalt is a volcanic rock. Now you can understand why it is called a volcanic rock, because lava gets solidified when coming in contact with the atmosphere and it forms a rock which is known as basalt. Okay, it's a dark colored rock. Okay, and it is fine grained. Okay, which is not crystalline. Okay, now let's look at the uses of this extrusive and intrusive igneous rocks. Generally, igneous rocks are hard. They are hard, compact. Hard means firm, okay, rigid. You cannot change the shape. Compact means tightly packed and resistant to erosion. Resistant to erosion means denudation, like water, wind, etc., and even sunshine. Okay. Now, resistant means immune, okay, to or unaffected to weather conditions. They do not contain any organic matter. They do not contain any fossils also. They are not like sedimentary rocks which contains fossils. Now, organic matter means having property of living organisms. And what is fossil? Fossil means, okay, the remains of plants and animals or roots, etc., okay, that have existed in past geological age and which has been buried inside the mud. Okay. So they are mostly used as building materials. Granite plus basalt. Okay, granite is a product of intrusive rocks, whereas basalt is a product of extrusive rocks. Okay, and they are used for building material. Now we are moving on to the second type of rock, that is known as sedimentary rocks. And you can refer to the figure 6.3 etc. for pictures also when I am teaching you. Now number 2 is known as sedimentary, sedimentary rocks. Now by the word sediment means what we call particles brought down by the rivers etc. to the plains. Now sediments are deposits. Now sedimentary rocks are rocks formed from sediments deposited by rivers. So the mountain rivers bring lots of mud, soil, clay, etc. from the mountains and make the plains very, very fertile. Likewise, sedimentary rocks are those rocks which have been deposited by rivers in riverbeds. They have been deposited in river beds, BEDS, beds. Now Riverbeds means bottom of the river, okay, and it has also been deposited in banks of rivers, okay, banks of rivers. Now, banks of rivers are, okay, basically a board, okay, beside a body of water, okay, there you find land beside the body of water. These are known as banks, and also in the beds of seas, lakes and glaciers. The sediment consists of eroded particles. Now, the sediment actually, okay, I'm marking only sediments here. The sediments actually consists of eroded particles. E-R-O-D-E-D. Eroded, erosion, etc. is the same thing. Okay. Eroded means, okay, which has been eaten away by water, wind, etc. Okay. So the agent of denudation plays a vital role in basically breaking this rock into pieces. Okay, eaten away. The sediment consists of eroded particles which are formed by wearing of rocks. Now, W-E-A-R-I-N-G, which I have told you previously also, wearing means worn out or deteriorated or depreciated, okay, from one area by running river. So, these sediments are actually brought by the rivers. And the water basically erodes that land, okay, and it is, okay, eroded from one place and transported to another place. Are you understanding? So, wearing of rocks from one area by running river, blowing wind, moving ice or any other agents of denudation. So, these are the agents which basically erode the land, which eats away the land and deposits these particles in new area. So, it brings this mud, clay, etc. from the mountains and deposits this mud, etc. in the plains. Are you understanding? So, it is eaten in another place and deposited in another place. When it gets deposited again and again, it forms into layers, distinct layers, one after another, okay. It forms a layer, okay. These layers are called what? Stratas. S-T-R-A-T-A, strata or stratas, okay. Now, whenever we are talking about strata, okay, a layer or a series of layers of rocks, okay, in ground you find, okay. Hence, they are called stratified rocks. They are also called strata. They are also called S-T-R-A-T-I-F-I-E-D, stratified rocks. Over a period of time, it takes millions of times to form a layer, okay, remember that, and finally gets compacted. Compacted means compressed. When one layer pushes another layer, it gets compacted and cemented, okay. Cemented means joined together or bound together like a cement, along with decomposed plants and animals which has been brought down by the rivers when it is flowing. So it brings not only mud, etc., it also brings plant, leaves, roots, etc., and dead animals, okay, etc., which has been buried inside the mud. And these are basically remains of plants and animals, which is also known as fossil, okay. So sandstone, shale, limestone means tuna, okay, and rock salt are some examples of sedimentary rocks. Now, rock salt, whenever we are talking about rock salt, R-O-C-K, rock salt. So, whenever we are talking about rock salt, it is a common salt occurring, okay, naturally as a mineral. So, as a mineral, it is also known as, okay, I am writing the name, halite. It is also known as halite. Please write it down, okay, it is also known as halite. Now, I am talking about the uses of sedimentary rocks. These rocks are softer than the igneous rocks. Igneous rocks are harder. You can see the difference. And thus, they are easily weathered and eroded. Thus, they can easily get, okay, broken into pieces, okay, or deteriorated. Limestone, shale, and gypsum are used in cement making for construction of buildings. Now, 1 minute. Okay. With this, okay, I have completed the what we call, okay, igneous rocks and sedimentary rocks. In the next class, I will be starting with sedimentary rocks, which are classified into 3 types, okay, which I'll do in the next live classes. Hope you find this lesson useful. Thank you for listening.